Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to go through the Forex market wrap. Going to highlight the news that happened this week and some of the charts that we took a look at in our week ahead analysis videos. So let's go straight into the news then. So lots of data to go through. I'm not going to go through all of it, but just go through over some key points. And really speaking, investors' eyes would have been drawn over here to the NFP data. Now, the Federal Reserve have already talked about the lack of sort of looking at the employment data because they see that employment should potentially fall as they hike interest rates. So they're not concerned with any kind of jobs coming in lower, but you can see here we actually were forecast around 295 to 300,000 and it's come in around about the 315. So we have had a significant drop from the previous number, which was around the 526s. So we have seen a fall in jobs. We've seen an increase to the unemployment rate and a drop in the average hourly earnings, which is typical of a market that is going through significant rate cycles. So interesting enough, we have that little bit of a boost compared to what was forecasted, but overall it's a negative thing for the dollar because we've had negative outcomes here. Now I think the dollar's still going to remain fairly strong. May not be in the short term because of this result, but in the medium to long term anyway, because of the recessionary risks as well as the Federal Reserve's outlook on hiking rates. So just be aware that we may only get a slight reaction here before a continuation to that dollar strength. So let's move on to the charts that we looked at this week. We looked at Euro US dollar. We were looking at the market around about the previous monthly value area low. So I've already marked up sort of August's monthly value area low as well, which is around about the 10032s, and then the previous monthly value area low, which was 10070s. That was the area we were looking at this week to see, can price breach above it, or are we going to reject it again? And you can see that we've started to reject it here. But note what's going on here. You know, if we look at it from that 4-hour perspective, we're just in a sideways market at the moment. It was kind of trading between some key areas, but we've pretty much gone sideways. Now, what is that telling us? Well, if the dollar is a strong market, we should have seen Euro US dollar continue to push to the downside if the euro was weak. But is this telling us that the euro is not as weak as we think? And does that mean we're going to start seeing the euro start to gain a little bit of strength now? I'm still not convinced to be a euro dollar buyer unless we're kind of trading above these previous highs in here. If we can trade above the 1010s, I think that will give you more of an opportunity to see price trade to the upside. So we're probably going to see price remain within this range in the near term. Going on to pound then. So pound was really the one this week that we felt could continue to push to the downside. Pound very weak at the moment. Recessionary risk as well, and we can see that this week we've pretty much straight lined to the downside. We've come back into the 115. There is a slight level just below around 114.50 which price could target, but again price reacted really well to some levels. We actually had a bit of a level running through here from the volume profile, and price reacted well to that 17.50 level. Pound reacts well to whole numbers, so really good rejection there, the 17.50 after trading through this area. Another rejection as well the previous week of that value area low from the monthly, so it's good to see that sort of rejection in here. But is that going to change anytime soon? Don't think so. Maybe we're going to see a breach of this 115, maybe back into that 114.50, might see some bounces there. However, I imagine, you know, we've moved a fair way now. We could start to see some slight rallies in the market, but pound looking very vulnerable at the moment. Going on to the S&P 500 then. The S&P 500 closed very strongly bearish on Friday. We were looking for that continuation of momentum because typically when this happens on the stock market, we see that continuation roll through. That's what we had this week. Price started to push to the upside, but quickly was met by sellers. We dropped below the monthly value area high of July, which is basically saying, could price trade within this value area? Obviously, we still need to see more evidence of that, but what we're seeing right now is that price has dropped into this value area. Could price trade within it? We've rejected sort of the monthly point of control just recently today, but we did drop through it and breach it into this low volume node. You can see here there's very slight in low volume. The reason why I've highlighted that is because you can see the reactions around this area prior. So nice rejection again here, buyers stepped in. If we trade below that low volume node, I think that's going to be your highlight to looking for 38.15, which is the monthly value area low of July. From the upside point of view, we've got value which is up a little bit higher. If price was to trade back within that value area, we could see some upside. How likely is that at the moment? I think that's very unlikely with what's going on fundamentally. I think we're going to probably continue to push a little bit lower, so I wouldn't be expecting that big jump up anytime soon. Gold then. So gold was really our main play this week. We really like the idea of shorting gold, being on the negative side of gold, especially, again, fundamentally with what's going on with the Fed and hiking interest rates. I was expecting some further downside to the price of gold, and we talked about, because price broke back within, again, July's monthly value area, we were looking to see if price would trade from the one side of value to the other, and that's exactly what we got. Price broke to the downside, it pulled back in. We had this nice point of control through here, confluenced by the monthly value area high. Really nice selling rejection here. A nice tail to the upside, so that was giving us a little bit of an idea that price didn't want to stay within that value zone, because you can see it also closed below the value area low of the week. So then price continued to push to the downside, hit our overall targets, which was this 1702 level. We dropped beyond that slightly, and we went into this kind of high volume node as well as this kind of support over in here. So that's a nice little rejection. I still think gold has a little bit more to give, and this low down here is going to be very important. So just above the 1680, we have this low that formed back through here, which could be very vital or pivotal to what happens next on gold. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed all the content this week. If you did, please just leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some of our Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.